Hey guys, welcome back to today's video or live stream, and let's see what the market's got in store for us today. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm in an hourly chart here, and I wanted to show you guys something first. Let's just go to a 4 hourly and let's get a grip of what's going on here. Alright, so we've got this big push down, took all this liquidity out, form liquidity, gap down, took it all out, form liquidity, saw some sort of a gap down, did not get to those liquidities. Don't know if we're going to get there, but what I will mark out is definitely this fair value gap. And the reason I'm basically marking this thing out, I just want to see how price going to react on this. If you go down to a 1 hour, I think we can actually refine it. Alright, so I am going to use this one. Alright, so nice fair value gap. We run these highs, we broke down, we inverted this, barely gap down. I don't know if this is actual equal lows yet, because we could see a slight push below that low, but there's definitely more liquidity down here, so I do think there's opportunity there. There's some equal highs here, obviously. EQH, I'm not expecting too much today, and the reason being it's Monday, there's no news. There's news tomorrow. Alright, so for me, I want to see how price reacts in here. I want to go back to a 1 minute. For me, I'm still bearish at this point, and I'll show you guys what I see as I open this chart. The very first thing, do you guys see what I'm seeing? Alright, so look at this. There's your equal lows. That's liquidity. We just said we're focusing on bearish. There's liquidity there, and there's a fair value gap here. Alright, so this low here barely filled that gap, therefore this fair value gap is a nice magnet for price if we really want to go short. And I'll show you now where I'm seeing the short building up, and there's some liquidity at that line as well. So if I had to take a short today, this is where I will take it. Then we made a high that's higher than this one. This low is equal, higher high, higher lows, higher high, taking this out. Now I want to see what's going to happen here with this fair value gap. Are we going to invert it? Let's see how much time is left, because now we made a high, made a high, made a high, and then we manipulate people to go higher with lower highs, higher lows, sorry. And there's liquidity there, but I've got nice equal lows here, and yeah, I want to see what price is going to do in this fair value gap. It's not a fair value gap yet until this candle is closed. This candle can come all the way down and fill it. Then there's nothing yet. Then we just need to keep an eye on things still. Alright, now it's a fair value gap. Now I want to see if this is a true reversal. I want to see this smash through this. There's the 50%. We could see price go up to this 50% level, which is this dotted line. Fair value gap 50%. So we could go through that and only give us the opportunity to short up there. Alright, so for now we're just keeping an eye on it. We're not doing anything yet, right? We'll just sit and wait. Alright, I think everything's working out fine. Video, all of that looks good. Alright. Alright, so the key thing is I think we're going to go up there first, that 810 level. Let's give it a minute. So far each candle made a higher high, so nothing yet to do here. And the thing is, that's a swing point there. This white candle, this black candle, and this black candle. The black candle and the white candle, both sides of this, I look at 3 candles, that's a swing point. The middle candle's high is higher than both candles. We broke that. We could come back at a retracement, make some sort of a, I don't know, swing low, and then target at 50%. But let's just keep an eye on you. I'm just saying this is there for the taking. I mean, the market could go straight up, and that's it. I just want to see what's here. So there's a nice big fair value gap here, so it might go all the way in there. But that's fine. We're just gonna keep an eye on what we see. So we could see a bounce from this fair value gap into that 50%. Let me know in the comments below what your view is for today. 10 o'clock, are we going up? Are we going down? What do you think? Alright, so let's see if this is going to hold price to target that high. This is obviously not a big trade. This is just if you want to scalp, knowing that we got liquidity down here. If we form this swing low here, where this black candle's low is higher and the middle candle's low is lower than both of them together, I think there's a chance that we would go up to that 50% first before we break down. But obviously if we break through that, then we might try to come lower first. Like that. And that's where we got liquidity down here. And I would try to sell. Hopefully get a retest to get picked up. Would have been nice to see that test first. Okay, so there we got picked up now. Now what we want to see is price to go lower, not up, because of this liquidity that's down there. Does this a swing point forming? Maybe not. I'll just put a stop in there. Just give my stop to break even, yeah. And the reason I do that is we broke this low. And I don't want to see price come back up there. I want to see it go down to these lows. Yeah, it's gonna be dreadful if it stops me out at break even now. But hopefully this white candle holds price. Again guys, liquidity, and now we want to see. Okay, so there I'm out at break even, unfortunately, but let's see, maybe it gives me another entry here. And that's the thing with these trading, guys. You gotta know where to manage your risk. Instead of an $8,000 profit, I booked 300 bucks, which is fine, because if this thing goes up now and wants to go test up here, it's just one of those things. If it rejects and drop all the way, then I mean, so be it. But let's give it a moment here and see if it wants to give me another entry, and then we'll try it again. Okay, so the ticker, this is for obviously your micro, or your minis, sorry, not your micros, it's the minis, is NQ1. Just so you guys know, I'm actually targeting this 732 level as a low. I know there's nice equal lows at 744, but there's a little fair value gap and a low that just topped that fair value gap. That's normally a nice magnet for price to shoot in and fill more of that fair value gap. So yeah, that's why I've got two targets here. Maybe I should call this target, and that's basically what I'm targeting here. It's this 733, but 744 is a good target because that is perfect equal lows. And just so you guys can see what I'm saying, so you get a push, a lower high, a lower high, yeah. And now you want to see something run these highs, and the reason I think it's wanting to go up here, I just want to see if this is Alright, so above the 50%, that's your next fair value gap. So we might see an inversion here, which could be a false inversion, and then a test there and drop down. So that's why it's pulling out deeper. So that's your retail stops is here. Those are taken out, might spike through it and then come down. Then this is a bigger leg down, you know, lower high, and then we want to see something push down. Alright, let's see what that 930 fair value gap is here. It's this one here. Alright, so the very first fair value gap after 930 is this one. It's important, and it's something that was mentioned by ICT, and it's important for, you know, direction as support. I mean, every other fair value gap is, I'm just going to take this one out, is important, but in this case it's always good to say the first fair value gap. Just keep an eye on it. If it's support, it at some point will drop through to become resistance to go lower. Take this one out, so we're expecting something to happen up here, and then we might go even higher to this fair value gap, this 50%, or even this 75%. So I'm going to see something quickly, which I haven't checked earlier. Alright, so okay, so guys, there's this massive opening gap. That's liquidity. I'm not saying we're going to fill it, but our liquidity is right on top of it, so we could see something to stab in it to run higher, or we can see it full, but it's a pretty big gap, so that's something to keep an eye out for. Okay, let's see what's happening at this fair value gap. Okay, so this fair value gap is in a deep premium. That's why it would be good to see some sort of a reversal. And again, guys, a higher low, higher low, higher low. This could be something to run through it. This is all liquidity building up here. I know we took out this liquidity, but this is all about how the market manipulates money into the market so they can obviously capture more. So for now, we just sit and wait. Okay, so people are talking about macro time. Just posted the macro time, which is important. Normally during this macro time, 9:50, 10 past 10, that's when liquidity gets run, or you know, a direction gets put into place. But mostly it's liquidity rates during that 20 minutes. Look, that fair value gap is still holding, but not convinced yet. I think we might go higher, yeah, because if I look at my right, I can see there's some momentum pushing higher. So if we invert this now, I might look for a long just to take it to this high as a scalp. don't want to jump in now, because then it's preempting something and then it could go all the way down and then see if we can get a little bit of a pullback or not. That was going to be the bet, the trade to take it into there. But it's all fine, guys. It's an aggressive move. Don't try to jump in now, because this thing can turn on a dime and then you screwed. Rather wait for something to pull back and give you some sort of a discount entry. As much, guys, as we are looking at prices going higher, I'm not bullish yet, because we're still within this blue block. I mean, we could see aggressive reversal now and then send price lower. Remember, on the hourly, we bearish on this move because of that fair value gap. The other thing that can happen now, guys, so we've got these equal lows here. We push higher, we came back and we make a higher low. We push higher, we could come back and do some sort of a higher low. We can push higher and then only reverse up here somewhere to take it down. And the thing is, there's no reversal pattern inverted fair value gap here that tells me we want to go lower. So I'm taking those out because that's just going to confuse us. Let's see what the hourly candle looks like now. And here you guys can see this thing could go, let's mark it out like this. This could even come up to here. And it's not quarters theory or anything like that. Sometimes the market like to fill 75 or 80% of a gap and then reverse. And if it's obviously something like this where they just doesn't go higher than that 50%, then you look for some sort of entry to at least target at 50%. If it looks like it's bullish, you could then go to the 75, 80%, or even fill the full gap. Or ultimately, if it's aggressive enough to go through it, then obviously break through and then target these equal highs that we've marked out here. Okay, this is at 75% level that I've marked out on the hourly. See how we aggressively go in there. Guys, I promise you, when you see aggressive moves like this, this is sometimes just to induce people that we're going long, and then people just do feel like they're missing the move and jump up there, and then we can consolidate and reverse and come back down. I mean, we could see price come back to this. Let's take this 50% off. To this level here. Could see. The reason I say that is if you take the swing low here, up here, I mean wherever it is now, that's below 50%, so that's a discount if you want to buy, if you believe it's going higher. And if you don't look below the swing point, there's other swing points, but there's no fair value gaps, so there's no inefficiencies, so the price doesn't have to go all the way down here. But there's a gap here, a little gap there, and it looks like it wants to make some sort of a gap now. Alright, so we've got another fair value gap now. Let's make it blue because that's a fair value gap. If this black candle comes smashing down and invert this, this might be a turning point to go lower. But if we take that high out, then I think we're going to go higher. So we're not that far off from this top of this fair value gap. Okay, let's just look at a 5 minute quickly. See what 5 minute looks like here. So on this 5 minute, I mean all these lows, see how it goes higher, 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 higher. That's all just liquidity building up for price to come lower at some point. And then we've got all this fair value gaps here, and yeah, those are all magnets. And then we've got this massive gap that was filled, which is fine. And this is just obviously this gap. I mean these highs, these highs, these highs, we're just running all of those. If we want to go higher, we will go run those highs. If we reverse now, we might come down to take all of this out. And then if you take this point down to this point, we're in a deep premium right now. If it reverse here, then we can see this drop down. So but that's not what we're doing here. We're just monitoring that 1 minute to see where we're going. Would have been nice trade earlier if we'd taken these, this liquidity down here, but obviously the market's got its own plans, and we just need to bear with it. Okay, so there's a swing point. If we close below this, we'll have to see there's a swing high, swing low, closing above there. Make a new swing high. If this is a swing low, then we might take this high out. And I think actually looking at the move that happened overnight, that big gap down and now we're moving up, it's pretty much taking sellers and buyers out before they want to move in a direction for the week. So but on a 1 minute there's plenty space for making some money. As long as you read the liquidity right, then it should be fine. So I'm going to put this high here as a point that I'm going to watch to see if we want to reverse or give any reversal point, like an inverted fair value gap or something. Let's see if we can get that push and give us some reason to reverse. Okay, so the reason I took this trade, it's a wick test for me. Because we run this low, I assume, or take that wick test as a foundation of some sort of support to run those highs. And that's all I need. I just need that that small move. Hopefully we can secure that $1,700. And as usual, The minute I take my trade, it will get stuck, but it's fine. I still I still think we want to push higher. Then that's where we want to go to. Alright, so that gives me another, I think, $1,750. I made 300 earlier, so that gives us just over $2,000, which is fine. Obviously this is nothing but nothing financial advice. This is just me trading a paper trade account with this leap challenge, and I'm just using what I'm talking about here, trading that, to show you guys at the end where I end on the challenge, and to show you that what I'm doing is actually working. And that was all that we needed, is just that push up, and then to secure that quick move. And this could be the situation now where we see this long consolidation type of thing and then invert to run lower, or just consolidate to push even higher than, to that 22,000 level. But for now, this is where we are. Let's just go back to this 4-hour chart, just so we all can see where we are. So if we really look at the 4-hour, we just inverted that, so that could tell us that price would go all the way to this 965 level. So I just want to take this out and show you guys. Nice inversion there. So it's all about that. So let's have a look. So maybe that 965 level is where we're going. It's up here. Yeah, still a long way to go, so maybe that's what we're in for today, and then big bearish move from tomorrow. I don't know. Guys, just so you know, I'm not going to stream tomorrow. I've got something to attend to, so I will not be streaming tomorrow. I'll post on the groups, I'll post some views that I see, but I'm not going to be able to do a live stream tomorrow. I'll try to do a PM session tomorrow and see what that brings. I know there's news tomorrow, so but unfortunately I'm going to miss it. If it's a nice setup, I'll make a video explaining, taking you guys through it. So maybe tomorrow is a good exercise for people to watch out for those news highs and lows, and mark it out and see what you see. I will then come and do a video and you can compare your notes with mine, or maybe I compare mine with yours. Let's see what this level is. 966. We're either going to turn here or we're going to continue. That's all I think. All I know. The reason I say that is because of the levels that I've shown, but also this consolidation. If we come and invert, if this leaves a fair value gap here and it inverts now, then I think we might gonna go lower. I mean, to see what it leaves for us. Alright, so now we've got this fair value gap here, and now it would be key to see this thing smash down. Then I would be interested to look for sells. But if we're just gonna continue without real, then I think I'm gonna call it, and then I might come back late in the PM session, because we might then see a nicer move in PM. It's quite weird. We saw this big move up, and it continues up. Normally when you see this big range in London, you get some crappy price action, sideways move on New York open, and then maybe in PM you get a better move. So let's see what this black candle do. See how this black candle becomes support there. That might target these highs again. could be a nice target for a scalp, which I'm not going to do so, by the way, because I've already made money. Alright, so we close above that, so I think this might send it up to that high again. Could test this fair value gap again and then bounce. So we tested there, little wick. Guys, I think I'm going to end this in the next 2 minutes. I'll tell you why, because it seems like we're going slowly in one direction. There we take that high out. That would be nice, quick scalp, 2-minute scalp. And I might come back later and see I missed the whole move, which is fine for me. But it's not setting up the way. I don't see anything change in the next shortly. I think I'm going to come back. I'll do a live stream in PM session, 1:45 around there, to get that last hour and see if there's something that stands out and maybe take a trade. I'll be there. Yeah, just keep an eye on my channel. I'll try to send out some notifications, but just set a notification bell. If I do something, you'll get it notified and you can hop on and see. I will tell you if there's something that stands out or if it's just garbage, and then we wait for tomorrow. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for joining. If there's anything that you guys want from me in this live streams, if you want me to do more of anything else, just let me know. Happy for us to to take some requests and dedicate that to some of the viewers here. And just before I go down, if this thing inverts now, then that's going to be a nice nice short, to be honest. But see how addictive this is. Alright, this is just going to catch me with the wrong trades. I think I'm not going to do anything now. I'm going to come back in the PM session, and whoever wants to join, feel free to join. Otherwise, remember, tomorrow I'm not streaming live. I'll try to do a PM session tomorrow, but I'm not around. And then for the rest of the week I'll be around, and we'll continue as usual. Thanks guys, take care and don't overtrade. Bye bye.